Welcome back, guys, to another Dirty Punters Productions Cheltenham Festival preview, this time of Friday, the Gold Cup day. The biggest day of the festival. It's going to be busy and it's going to be really good racing all day. Just before we start looking into it, really, the first things that we need to say is, since obviously the previous days that we've done, the breaking news is that Sco Royale is not now going to the festival. So as we tipped him up earlier in the festival to run a big race, obviously that's not going to happen. Gordon Elliott's Cracking Smart has also come out and the snow has melted. So the clerk of the course has already said that it's more likely going to be soft ground. So the heavy might feature in the description, but I fully anticipate it to be soft ground throughout. The other breaking news of the weekend, if you want to call it breaking news, we're seeing Footpad drift in the market and Sam Crow come back into the market at 6-4 joint favourite for the Supreme Novices. Question is this just a marketing ploy? I can't see him running in there. I don't think Footpad's going to have any problems still in regards to which race he goes in. I think that's pretty clear. So I can see why people are getting worried by the drift of Footpad, but I don't really see it being a big issue myself. I think people are making a bit of a big deal out of things. I'll happily be proven wrong, and if I am, I'll hold my hands up. But in regards to Friday's racing, the first race that we're going to look into is the JCB Triumph Hurdle. This is a Grade 1 race over 2 mile and a furlong. The current favourite is Apple Shakira. Now, Apple Shakira is a full sister to Apple's Jade, which it's not a bad sister to have, really, is it? Raced over in France, completely unbeaten over there. Came over to the UK, ran at Cheltenham. It's got really strong form, as we'll go into, as it's unbeaten over in the UK as well. Let's say it's had 3 wins in the UK. All have been here in November, December and January, so it's safe to say that course form is very strong here. It was pitched into a Grade 2 on debut, which was a trial for this race, beating Gumball. Now, Gumball was very prominent in the market that day, but on soft ground, Gumball still got beat by 17 lengths by Apple Shakira, so you can see that form on soft ground does look to be quite strong. He then beat Nube Negra, who we've discussed on previous days, so again, you can see that's pretty strong form. That was a Class 2 race. He won it on the bridle. Nube Negra was just the 3 lengths behind, but effectively it could have been at any distance that Apple Shakira wanted it to be. The final race in January was a Grade 2 victory. Again, he beating Work My Way here by 8 lengths. Held up, led after the last. Had to work a little bit harder, again on soft ground, so I think it's safe to say that this horse isn't going to have any problems when it comes to the ground this year here at Cheltenham. Solid 5-2 favourite, carrying 10 stone 7, so as you'll see, a few of the other horses are carrying a little bit more weight in the market, so I think it's a rightful favourite for me. Reddition is also in the market for Alan King, currently 9-2, carries 11 stone. Now, this horse has been all the rage of late. However, in my opinion, the Reddition is a little bit of a flat track bully, really. He's not really had to do a lot in regards to undulations on tracks. They've all been on pretty flat tracks. He is unbeaten over hurdles, winning the Class 2, a Class 4, and then last time out a Grade 2 victory. They were all at Kempton, so it's there's my point proven that quite a flat track compared to here. On that basis, I asked the question, is he going to cope with Cheltenham with the undulations and especially the hill? I know I made a big deal of the hill throughout the entire week, but it does play a big part, especially when it's going to come onto soft ground as we go. 10 length easy winner in December of that Class 4 race at 11-8 favourite on soft ground, so again you can see the ground's not going to pose any problems either. Again, another 10 length winner, at this time at 8-13 on favourite, so you can see that the market spoke very nicely of him that day. And again, no problems in dismantling the field. So he's 1 from 1 on soft ground, as we say there, and then a Grade 2 race, beating Mayala by 7 lengths. Held up, travelled nicely throughout. Easy came clear after the last, not a problem. The turn of foot was pretty decent there as well. So rightful to be second in the market. I think behind Apple Shakira on course form, I think the market speaks rightly. Nicky Henderson has another horse in here, We Have a Dream. This is at 7-1, carrying 11 stone. Now, We Have a Dream does have a dream to win at Cheltenham, but I can't see him doing it this year. I think he might be involved when it comes to the end, but I don't see him winning the race. He's unbeaten in the UK, winning a Class 4, a Grade 2, a Grade 1 and a listed race, so you can see that as it's progressed through, yes, it's done it in a bit of a different order, but you can see that the quality still remains. He won the Scottish Triumph Hurdle trial race, so again the Scottish version of the trial for this race, Apple Shakira winning the UK version. He's raced at Warwick, Doncaster, Chepstow and Musselburgh, and as we've said throughout, winning at Musselburgh is a favourite. Strong bit of form on the basis that they do tend to get turned over up there, so you can see it's not exactly just flat tracks, it has got a few tracks with a few quirks to it, so I can see this playing a bit of a part, to be honest. He's won on ground all the way from good at one end of the spectrum all the way down to heavy, so again, ground issues, no problems whatsoever. He did have to work quite hard on the heavy ground, beating a horse that we are going to discuss shortly, which is Sussex Ranger. He did win the race by a length and a half. So you can see that yes, he did have to work hard, but he was doing it readily for me. I'm not quite sure that he had a lot left in the tank, but it was still good enough form to hold on for the victory. Willie Mullins has the fourth horse in the market. This is Stormy Island. Now, depending on where Stormy Island goes at the festival, I expect it to run quite well. It's currently 7-1 in this market, as I say, carrying 10 stone 7. So same weight as Apple Shakira, less than the other guys. So I think it could feature at the end if it runs in here. As I've said, because I've already mentioned it in other podcasts, I don't really need to go into the form again. You just need to watch back what we've already said about it in relation to this race. Gordon Elliott has a horse in the market at 8-1, carrying 11 stone. Now, on the Friday at Cheltenham, I fully expect Gordon Elliott to be somewhere near the top for top trainer. So if it comes down to placings, this horse could do him a favour. Looking at the form, I could see it making the frame, considering he was beaten by Espor Dannon last time out. However, he was in front of Machuca. Now, I've already tipped up Machuca to win a race at this year's festival. So I can see if Machuca runs well earlier, that could be quite a good another form line to look into when we get to the Friday. He was beaten by Mr. Adjudicator when headed on the run-in last time out at Leopardstown, and that is a horse that we're going to come on to next, so we can see that things do time between them. But if I had to pick out of these two who come further up the market, I'd be backing Fireclass to reverse that bit of form, really. Like I say, Mr. Adjudicator in here for Willie Mullins, 8-1 as well, carrying 11 stone, exactly the same as Fireclass, so they're on level ground. He's 2 from 2 over hurdles, an easy win on soft ground on his Irish debut last time out, winning by 7 lengths when he was 5-4 favourite. Winner of the Grade 1 race, beating Fireclass up on the run-in at Leopardstown, and again he was in front of Espor Dannon, so the form lines do tie in to be quite strong. 2 horses left to go in this race, the first one being Sadler again for Willie Mullins and Rich Ritchie. Currently 10-1, carrying 11 stone again. 1 from 1. He was a market mover so far in this market, from 25-1 all the way now into 10-1. A maiden hurdle winner in February on heavy ground over in Ireland, won by 10 lengths. He was heavily eased. Because it's a maiden hurdle, you don't quite know exactly what the form means and if it's going to stand up, but again, well worth his place in the market here. Final horse, as I mentioned earlier, is Sussex Ranger. This is for Gary Moore, currently 16-1, carrying 11 stone again. So you can see that 11 stone does seem to be the predominant weight in here, all throughout. The female's obviously getting a weight allowance, so again, the female should be running quite well, and it helps when one of those guys is the favourite. Got a lot to find with the market principles. However, the form does need to be reversed to have any sort of chance with We Have a Dream, and the market doesn't suggest that that's likely to happen. He had a fitness workout at Kempton on the all-weather, so you can see that he is ready to go for this race, and the trainers do have him ready, but like I say, he has got a lot of form to find. That concludes the look at the JCB Triumph Hurdle. The winner for me, in my opinion, is going to be Apple Shakira. Redemption could prove me completely wrong and love Cheltenham. I do ask that question myself. We Have a Dream does have a chance to make a place claim along with Fireclass, but I generally think that turning in and coming up the hill, Apple Shakira is just going to kick away and win this race quite comfortably.